Do you want to repair some stuff? Since I've started getting into the habit of repairing things, and it is a habit, the more I do it, the more I feel comfortable doing it, and the more I feel motivated to do it. But it feels like an absolute superpower, because I'm looking at my stuff being like, oh gosh, I love these boots. I hope they last forever. Being like, they could. They could last forever. I can just keep repairing them. That's amazing. I have 3 repairs that I would like to make over the course of this video. Number 1, there is a crack in my boots, so they're no longer waterproof, and I want to fix that crack. Number 2, the case on my iPad is peeling. I would like to prevent that from happening moving forward in a way that ideally looks like kind of cute, fun, and scrappy. And 3, I have had a hole in these sweatpants for 1.5 years now, and I've done nothing about this hole. I think it's time that I finally address it. Let's start with the boots. So there's a crack that's been forming over the past few months on my rain boots over here. And I wear these often since I live in a pretty rainy location. Although, don't let people from Northern Oregon fool you. It is not as rainy here as they all say. I do absolutely miss a proper Midwestern thunderstorm. Ooh, there's a crack on the back here as well. Well, let's fix that one up too. I want to do a full inspection of the boots, see if I can find anything else. Nope, I think the right boot looks pretty okay, and it's just the left boot. I've never used shoe glue before, so we're gonna learn together. These are pretty muddy, so I'm gonna start by just cleaning the affected area. Okay, let's read some instructions. Directions. Test a small area before use. I'm just going to use it and let that be the test. Where else am I going to stick it, you know? Apply directly to surfaces to be protected, bonded, or repaired. Allow repair to cure for 24 hours. Depending on the materials and temperature, for maximum strength may not be reached for 48 to 72 hours. May produce birth defects. Bit late for that now. I've already been born. I'm gonna find a disposable tool. I don't really have those. I like all my tools. I bought a pack of these disposable bamboo toothbrushes like years ago, but then my dentist kind of begged me to switch to a electric toothbrush, so now I just have a bunch of these, and I've been using them for various cleaning activities. We'll figure it out. Quick disclaimer, if you're gonna use this, don't be dumb, use PPE, look up what to do, don't do what I do. I'm not an expert on this, I'm just a person doing their best. I so don't know what I'm doing here. I guess I'm just gonna apply it like glue. I'm just gonna do it the way I think it should be done. Tell me why I get the feeling this isn't gonna work at all. I just want to put a big, huge glob on and hope for the best. Is it supposed to be this, like, thick and sticky? Do you want some random lore about me? I took an adhesives class in college. Okay, well, I don't know about this, but we're gonna give it a shot, and we're gonna let it dry. I think I will address the second crack later. I'm gonna really start with this one and just see how that goes, I guess. So I'm gonna set this outside for the rest of the day. While we wait to see what happens with the shoe, I want to fix my iPad case. The seams on this case have been kind of ripping apart and peeling for a little while, and I am a little bit wondering if I can sew it shut. I'm just gonna go for it. Wish me luck. So you can see where it's kind of peeling apart over here, and it's peeling across most of the way, and then again on the bottom. So the top and bottom definitely get a lot of wear and tear. And I'm gonna see if I can sew the edges shut, because it's a sort of like plasticky fabric material. I could glue it, but I think sewing it would just be a little bit more secure, and I want to. So let's see what happens. Needle-wise, I feel like I want something sharp, really sharp, and not too thick. Oh, this'll do. Go into my embroidery floss collection. Let's see what's up. Kind of like the idea of doing the yellow. The nice thing about repairing things is if it doesn't work out or it could be stronger, because everyone has opinions about that, I can always go back and redo it. Fixing it even more, always an option. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with yellow. I really hate separating embroidery floss. Can I get away with 3 strands? I need to get one of those needle threader thingies, but I've been able to make it work so far in life, and I am really trying to avoid purchasing unnecessary tools. So I really need to prove to myself that it's needed. See, why? Just separate your embroidery floss. No, it's not that easy. Kind of want to watch John Wick. I just remembered how good of a movie it is. Like, it's so good. Okay, I should go find some scissors. Yeah, anyways, John Wick 1 really is just a fantastic movie. I was just waxing my thread here. This is a beeswax candle. It's 100% beeswax, and it was recommended to me that I should try waxing my thread before working with it. And in my many efforts to avoid buying things I don't need, I decided to take the wick out, and it works perfectly for waxing thread. Trim this little guy. One thing that really stood out to me about John Wick is how long they hold on a shot during the fighting sequences. That's almost unheard of in action movies, and it's part of what makes John Wick so good at what it does. Like, the John Wick movie as a whole is so stylized, and yet it feels somewhat real. And my theory is that's because they hold on those shots. By doing that, they're showing these long action sequences where the actors are actually doing the thing that is being shown on screen. If you watch action scenes in like a Marvel movie, for example, they'll either fill it with a ton of CGI, or they'll do constant cuts, or the camera will sort of like shake and jitter and feel disorienting. And it's to sort of hide the mistakes and make it so that you can't tell that there are stunt doubles doing it. But that's what makes John Wick so good. It's what makes the fighting scene in Princess Bride so good. Like the sword fight between Inigo Montoya and the Man in Black is because those actors spent the entire time filming that movie rehearsing for that scene. Am I enjoying the blanket stitch on this? I think so. I think I dig it. But in The Princess Bride, they don't really cut too much when they're showing that scene, and it makes it feel more real, and it makes you really appreciate all the work that the actors did with it. Sorry about my dig on Marvel there for a second, for you Marvel fans out there. I was such a diehard Marvel movie fan. Sorry, I had no plans for when I went to turn on the camera here, so maybe I can voice over something else later. The repair of the first crack went well. Key learnings. 1. It is pretty messy and hard to make it look clean and crisp and nice. 2. I probably should have cleaned the area a little bit better. I know I should have cleaned the whole boot, but I just wanted to get started, so I'm not going to rag on myself too much for that one. And 3, I am not exploring the creative side of this nearly as much as I could be. Untapped potential. And I had this idea the other day of what if I took a little piece of fabric and cut it out in a really cute shape and then stuck it on with the glue, the shoe glue. So I did a little test run with a piece of fabric, and I feel like I can do this. And I'm gonna use exclusively scraps for this. A few weeks ago, I carved out a ladybug shaped stamp, and this was my little test sheet for working on my ladybug stamp. And I want to cut out one of these ladybugs and use that as the patch on the shoe crack. This could be really cute. I also want to try putting masking tape or painter's tape around the crack and peeling it off once I've applied the glue to see if it creates like a really crisp edge. I'm sure there are reasons why I shouldn't do this, and I'm choosing not to care. I will learn these hard lessons on my own. Besides, if the worst thing that could happen is it isn't as durable as it could be, I can always repair it again. That's the great thing about repairing, is I just feel way more confident being like, I can just keep fixing this. we're going to pretend that this is what YouTube would be like if it were the 90s. And I'm like an overtired mom, and you're someone that's procrastinating on some work that they really should be doing. So you get your part right, and I'll get mine, except, you know, you might not necessarily be procrastinating, although I see you. I'm not a mom. It's not the 90s. This is not old school YouTube. But that's how I'm going to explain my lack of mascara, the terrible lighting, and the poor video quality. We're going to romanticize it. Oh, and I'm like very sick right now, so I'm editing out all my coughing. The thing is, I just really want to sew these pants right now. I'm going to work on the pants. This is the hole that I mentioned earlier. It's been here for over a year, at least. I thought these pants were going to die on me so much faster. I think I got them 3 years ago, and after a year of wearing them, the inside part just got so thin and worn down. Like, can you see how thin that is? I have taken the pill shaver to the inside, and I'm not sure if that prolongs the life or not. So I think what I want to do is pill shave half of it so I can run an experiment, seeing if that helps or makes things worse with the fabric wearing down over time. I'll present my findings in a year, so you'll have to subscribe just to make that easier on you, really. And just to be very safe, you should watch every single video of mine that comes out, because you really don't want to miss this key update. Oh, I'm going to go find a needle and thread while I talk about these sweatpants a little bit more. Sick outfit of the day. Oh, I fell. Well, that's just how today's going. My potatoes are resting, and by potatoes, I mean my cats. Ooh, chocolates. No, I don't need chocolates. I have ice cream. And I don't need ice cream, but I'm surely going to enjoy eating it. Where are my needles? Where would I be if I was a spool of thread and my owner actually put me back where I belonged? What was I talking about? Must have not have been important. Look at that. It's even conveniently labeled so someone like me can find it. Ooh, options. I don't like any of these options, actually. Look at all these needle options. Where are the rest of my needles? I know I have more. That's it. I need an ice cream break. Shout out to my husband for procuring me this Haagen-Dazs chocolate ice cream. And not only did he procure it in the largest size I've ever seen. I've never seen a container this big. 28 ounces. That's so many ounces. And I need every little bit of it. 0.8 liters for you non-Americans. Fun fact about Americans. In school, we have to learn the metric system and the imperial system. So we know about centimeters. We're in on the joke. The millimeter. Are you even serious? We do not know about Celsius, though. I should put my ice cream back. See, look at how big this ice cream is right next to this perfectly normal size spoon. Where are my needles? Okay, but seriously, though, which one of you took my needles? I'm talking to you. Did you take my needles? Why would you take my needles? You probably need them, but I want them. Well, this is what I get for losing my things, is sometimes they get lost. How unfortunate that I'm in the mood to film, but I'm not in the mood to set up an aesthetic shot or flip the camera the right way or tweak the lighting. It's an artistic choice. That's what we're telling ourselves. I need to put this mic somewhere. Okay, if YouTube existed in the 90s, what do you think it would be like? I don't know, because I didn't really exist in the 90s. I caught the tail end. 23 things that were so common during the 90s that are basically extinct today. This is fantastic. 1, you used to be able to meet people right at the airport gate without going through security. I've seen this in movies. 2, calling movie phone to get the show times for movies if you're going to see a movie in theaters. I think I would have had movie phone on like speed dial. Wait, did you have speed dial? No, you wouldn't have speed dial. Were cell phones a thing yet? I feel like yes. The brick phone. But when did speed dial become a thing? I don't know. I guess I'd just have my landline and have it on a piece of paper. We had a landline, but we never had a plug-in phone. I always thought those were cool, and my mom did show me how to use a rotary phone when I was a kid, just in case. I remember doing the 9 and being like, how the hell is someone supposed to have the patience to dial 911 in case of an emergency on a rotary phone? Are you kidding me? 9. As, like, your loved one is actively dying. At least it's not 999 like the British people. Like, how many died because of that? 3, there were invisible walls in restaurants that delineated smoking from non-smoking. I have seen this. I sewed it up already. You can't even see it. Did such a good job. Look at how easy that was. Look at that little dot. You can barely see it. Did a good job. They're fixed. I also noticed myself wanting to try wide leg sweatpants because mine just cinch at the bottom. And I'm really trying not to buy anything new anymore, which I'm enjoying. So don't rain on my parade there. I'm really enjoying shopping minimally and also shopping secondhand. But I've been getting better at consuming responsibly, so instead I just cut the bottoms off of my sweatpants and took off the cinchy part, and now they're the perfect length because they were too long, and I've enjoyed wearing them so much more. Didn't hem them or anything because they don't really fray all that much, and I like the weightlessness of it not having a hem on the bottom. I'm so glad I didn't get rid of these pants. I really felt like a year into owning them, I was like, oh, these things are getting really old already because they're fast fashion. I mean, these are Old Navy. I didn't think they were gonna last. And then I just decided, because I love them so much, they're so comfy, I decided to just wear them until I literally couldn't wear them anymore. They were no longer functional, and they are still very functional. I am shocked I have not gotten more holes in it. I am shocked it hasn't worn through so much that the fabric just starts falling apart. I'm really glad that I did not let go of these, because I've gotten another 2 years out of them, and I am expecting to have many more. I want these things to last my entire life. The knees are also very bowed out on this, because I spend most of my time sitting cross-legged, which I'm told I probably shouldn't do. I would like to keep making repairing videos. It's something I enjoy immensely and find incredibly satisfying. And as I'm making these repair videos, because this isn't even the first one, I am wanting to do check-ins at the end where it's been a couple weeks, I've used the items that I repaired, and I can give a more full review of the repairs and how they went. That being said, starting with the sweatpants. These were super easy. It's just a little hole fix up. I have washed these multiple times and worn them since. I wore them to a workout class the other day. I did not put a whole lot of effort into making the hole look invisible because it's in an area that no one's really gonna see. And so it's invisible enough for my purposes. It seems to be holding on pretty strong after several washes. As for my iPad cover, it's working out fantastic. I have zero issues. It's holding on really strong. It looks really cute, and I like this very small, subtle pop of fun bright colors on my iPad case, which was otherwise pretty plain. I do really like this case though, which is why I wanted to preserve it as long as I can. Structurally, it seems to be holding up pretty well except for the peeling issue. So I am very happy with this. Would do again. I think this was a great strategy. I was tempted to just use adhesive around all of it, but figured that sewing it together would be more secure, and that feels pretty correct. Now for the more complicated one, the rain boot. I have mixed emotions about this. Where should I start? So shoe goo. I did a lot of Googling and Reddit searching and whatnot to figure out the best options for repairing rain boots. And the shoe goo was kind of the best option, but had mixed reviews where people complained about it peeling off quite easily. But I had not seen a better alternative pop up on the internet. So if you're aware of better ways to repair a rain boot, I'm all ears to learn. But from what I learned, this was like, yeah, this is probably your best bet. There are a couple issues with the shoe goo that make it difficult to work with. So first off, it doesn't spread nicely. It's like trying to spread a drying out slime. It is a very high viscosity adhesive. And so spreading it and getting it to look clean, not easy. And then once I did spread it out, there would be some, waviness in the finish. It's not like a clean, polished, perfectly see-through finish. And I thought maybe utilizing some heat would help, but I didn't want to do that on here because the material in this rain boot wouldn't hold up well to me just taking a heat gun to the adhesive. And so I didn't want to ruin my boot in an attempt to get it to look a little bit more aesthetic in the repair area. So I just kind of left it in with the waviness and bumps, and that was fine, especially because this is a 10-year-old rain boot. It does not need to look pristine because it's not brand new. I was really ecstatic about the patch idea, and I'm glad I went with the strategy I did, where I taped off the area that I wanted, put the shoe goo on, let it dry for kind of just a little bit, and then put on my fabric patch, and then go over with a thicker layer, peeling off the tape before it fully dries. That system worked pretty well, and when I went through the second time to do the patches, I made sure to clean the boot extra in the areas that I knew the patches would be applied. And I have since worn these about 5 or 6 times. They held up really well the whole time. Like, I fully submerged them in water and kind of waded through sort of a marshy, muddy area for a while, and they maintained their waterproof ability. So I was really happy about that. But on my last walk, I started noticing some peeling. So I don't know what's up with that. I do know what's up with that. That's what the reviews say. They say that it peels easily. So I have applied Gorilla Glue on the back part of the patch. So this one started peeling up. The one on the back has held up really great, and I see no beginnings of peeling happening back here. Editing me. Did the Gorilla Glue work? Is it peeling anymore? Okay, great. That's good. Because if it works, then it's totally fine. This is a great process. If I continue repairing with this process in future, something I might consider is taking sandpaper and kind of roughing up the area that I plan to apply the adhesive. That would probably help it stick a bit more. And I'll keep playing around. My friend also patched up her boots, and to my knowledge, she has not had any issues with hers peeling up. Hers turned out really cute. We had a friend's repair night where she brought over things that she wanted to repair. So we did the same patching process on her boots, and she had issues in the same spots on her boots as I had in mine. But she also has the exact same rain boots as mine, so that is not surprising. And then we hemmed 2 of her t-shirts and fixed this like stained glass picture frame that she has. It was fun. Have a repair night with your friends. Bring things to fix. Maybe in my next repairs video, I should like check in with previous repairs that I've done to see how they're holding up. Okay, ranking the project. I'm gonna go 7 out of 10 on the sweatpants. I could have made it look cleaner. I chose not to. That's fine. I'm fine with 7 out of 10. iPad case cover. I'm going 9 out of 10. I could have had my stitches be a little bit cleaner, but other than that, no notes. Rain boots. I'm gonna go with a 6 out of 10. The peeling concerns me, and I need to return to my adhesives textbook from college to see what's up there. This is a tough material to get things to stick to, so I think using sandpaper would help. And we'll see if I can workshop this process and just make it a little bit better. But all in all, I am very happy about this. I am still thrilled with how cute these little patches look. That was awesome, because looking at pictures of shoe goo repairs and seeing what people did, it's just like a smear or a smudge, and it looks like you just toss some glue on there, and that's because it's so hard to work with. So I was thrilled I was able to find a way to work with it that also looked cute. But I would also like it to serve the function it's supposed to serve. If it held on totally fine and there was no peeling issues, I would give this a full-on 10 out of 10. But with the peeling issues, 6 out of 10. Thank you for joining me. There will be more repair videos. If there's anything in your life that you want repaired, I have a huge list of things that I need repaired. So if there are things where you're like, yeah, test out a strategy for repairing this thing because I'm curious, I'm down. Sounds fun. I kind of want to do a pet themed repair video where it's like things my cats have destroyed. And if you want to see my previous repair video, I really liked that video. It will pop up recommended at the end of this one in a couple seconds. Oh, and thank you to people who have been supporting me on Patreon. Thank you so much. You're awesome. Okay, thank you. Bye.
It's fun when we're together. It's fun just hanging out. It's fun when you're around. There's nothing better. It's the best.